Welcome to this shot of Life with Minahil. Today we're in my studio. That's bad. Can we do that again? Can I make up my own intro? Can we do that again? That was worse than last time. Hello guys, my name is Minahil Safraz. I'm 15 years old, so I'm in third year. It's a tough year, but I'm handling it. And today I'm going to be answering some questions. How is like being in Ireland as a refugee? You could have been a refugee. It's just how things happen. You just were lucky enough to live in a country where you were accepted. When I came, I was 5 years old. Just coming here was a huge shock to me because I didn't know Ireland was even a place. I just thought it was Pakistan and that was it. Life was scary. I didn't have any friends and I did not have anyone to talk to in my language. I did not know English. Everything just seemed so, why are we here? Like, why am I here? Do I belong here? I'm glad I moved here. I'm not happy that I had to. I would have preferred if it was just because I wanted to, but things happen for a reason, so. People always ask me if I wear the scarf all day. I don't. I actually take it off when I sleep and when I go home in general. Like sometimes someone will come to us, I'm like, okay, where's the scarf? I have to go run and get it. But I do love wearing it. They think, it's really hilarious how they think I'm forced to do this. No, I just feel like it makes me more confident and less exposed to other people. Mysterious. I think it always surprises people when I say I love rap. It's just not expected. A Muslim girl wearing a headscarf saying that she loves rap, because I do love rap. And the reason I love it so much is because when people are rapping, they're talking really fast, and in my head, when I'm thinking really fast. Like there's 50 voices in my head, and they're going at super speed. And so when I'm rapping, that's how I think in my head. My favorite rapper, well, I think it's important to have a female that I really look up to. And if I were to say one person, it would be Nicki Minaj. And the reason I love her is because she's so confident in herself. And it always inspires me just to be confident in myself as well. Pakistan is very humid. There's dust everywhere. And when you're like walking or driving or you're on a motorcycle, you can feel the heat and you can feel the dirt going into your eyes. It's not the best feeling in the world, but it's not the worst either. I love the fact that everyone in my family stick together. It's just how it is. Pakistani culture is the way where everyone is there to help anyone, even if it's someone you don't like at all. It's just when they're in doubt, when they need some money, they need help, they need a shoulder to cry on, you're there. That's Pakistani culture. And when I went to my country to visit, I really saw that and I really loved it. I really love how everyone saw the togetherness of everything. I had family everywhere, and when I visited back in December, I just realized how much I really missed that. Because here I don't have any grandparents, no cousins, nothing, and I had to make a family here, but whereas in Pakistan I had that already. I really love how everyone saw the togetherness of everything. And it reminded me about the center. When we lived there, everyone was there for each other. And I was glad that a part of home was part of this home too. I was so surprised one day to find that 2 girls in my class were making fun of the place I lived. I lived in direct provision. And they were making fun of me for it. And I was really irritated, to be honest, because I didn't care that much about how much it hurt me, but they were picking on the younger ones as well, and I always felt responsible for them. I don't blame anyone for it. Because it's hard to accept someone that's totally different to you or see the similarity between a refugee and a person that's just living here with their status and with their citizenship without things like that to care about. Because we like to be near people who are like us. And sometimes we don't realize that that person escaping Syria, that child with bruises on their arms and things in their mind that they don't want to know, are just like us. It's just a circumstance that changed them. Although you're in the same classroom, your past and your daily life is totally different to theirs. In the center, there was not a lot of freedom because there was a curfew and you had to follow that curfew. And at the very, very beginning, there's also a thing where you had to sign in every morning to make sure you were still there. And I remember us not being able to go like even to our friend's house, just like my mom's friend's house, just to hang out for a few days because we had to sign in or else something bad was going to happen. They might stop our social welfare or something like that. So we were always scared, There was a time when people thought that they were going to come like at night. Someone had told my mom that the police are going to come to take you away. They're going to take a lot of families away. And my mom and I, and like also my brothers and sisters, we hooded into another caravan, locked our mobile home, and we just stayed there the whole night, afraid that someone's going to take us at night. I'm not fully Irish, and I've not always been accepted as fully Irish. I've never been accepted as Irish in general. But I feel at home here. In Ireland, I've met a lot of people that I wouldn't have it any other way without meeting them. Now that I've met them, it's kind of like I can't go back. It's just that type of thing. It's like when you meet someone you know that you were meant to meet, because if you didn't meet them, you wouldn't know the things you know. You wouldn't have had the same opportunities as you have now. In a way, I don't feel like any nationality. And sometimes because when you're a refugee, you don't really know what home is. And once you're out, you're kind of like confused, like what is home? Home is somewhere where you're safe and you feel welcome. And that's what home is. So try to make refugees feel like they're at home because they need that, and they're really, even the littlest things like that can make their day. I've always loved the idea of being a doctor and fixing people. When I had a friend when I was really younger, and she lived in a tent, and she died really young, and I did not know. No one told me why she died or how she died or anything about her. And now that I think about it, if someone had given her medication, she would have still survived. So I've always loved the idea of being a doctor. People have always told me that I couldn't be a doctor because, sorry, but I'm going to be a doctor. How easily do we judge people? That would be the question I asked them to ask, because we judge people quite easily. We think that there's just one view and one way to look at someone when that person might need the most help ever, and we don't see that. Even I don't see that. I struggle sometimes to see that. So we're in the same boat, but just how easily and quick do we actually judge someone and come to one particular notion about something without actually really deeply thinking about it. I would tell the leaders of Ireland that although I may not be classified as Irish in the Irish system, I still feel that refugees and people living in direct provision need the chance to actually be people. Treating people like in direct provision as people living in direct provision is not the way to do anything. It's mostly to look at them, what is their needs, what are their wants. Really treat them how you would treat your own people. And that's the way you should treat anyone. Like, we're all so unique and we have different perspectives and different ideas that can really change the world. Saved by the Bell. Let's go.